When LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh joined forces in July 2010, everybody, especially LeBron, thought they were going to win rings together for the next 7 to 8 years. Turns out reality can be cruel. The Miami Big Three ended up only lasting 4 years together, in which time they won 2 championships and made 4 straight NBA Finals. While 2 rings and 4 Finals appearances is certainly nothing to sneeze at, the Big Three Heat never became the destroyer of worlds many feared they would, especially in the playoffs. This video explains the biggest reasons why the Big Three Miami Heat didn't become a dynasty. Enjoy. Number 1. LeBron James. In 4 years with Miami, LeBron James won 2 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs, was named First Team All-NBA all 4 times, and made All-Defense 4 times. He averaged an absurd 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game on otherworldly efficiency in the regular season, and 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game on great efficiency in the playoffs. LeBron's greatness is the biggest reason the Heat won 2 rings in his 4 years there, but he is also the biggest reason the team didn't add a 3rd ring to their collection. After powering the Heat to the 2011 Finals with his stellar play on both ends in the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, LeBron completely and utterly shit all over himself in the 2011 Finals. His points per game dropped almost 9 from the regular season. His field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, free throw percentage, rebounds, assists, and turnovers per game all got worse as well, despite the fact that he played almost 5 more minutes than the regular season. He was also invisible in the fourth quarter all series long, shooting just 7 of 21 overall and 4 of 14 in the team's 4 losses. To make matters worse, Miami was still excruciatingly close to winning the series in 4 of 5 games. They had a fourth quarter lead in each of the first 5 games. They were able to win games 1 and 3 despite getting next to nothing from LeBron scoring-wise, but they blew a 15-point lead in the last 6:30 of Game 2, a 5-point lead in the last 7:24 of Game 4, and a 3-point lead in the last 3:38 of Game 5. In the fourth quarter of the 3 aforementioned losses, LeBron combined for just 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting, the one make being a garbage time basket down 108-101 with 30 seconds left in Game 5. Then in Game 6, LeBron had a plus-minus of -24 in a game Miami lost by 10. He played 40 minutes, which means in the 8 minutes he sat, Miami outscored Dallas by 14 points. Maybe in the long term, LeBron was better off for losing in 2011 as it forced him to reevaluate his game and improve, but the stink of this series will never completely go away, and there's a 2011 championship banner hanging in Dallas instead of Miami, largely because of him. Number 2. Chris Bosh was overrated. Remember, overrated doesn't mean bad, unless it's Tom Brady. One of the biggest myths people spew is that Chris Bosh was a superstar player in Toronto. And make no mistake, Bosh was a good player for the Dinosaurs. In his 7 years there, he averaged 20 points and 9 rebounds per game, making 5 All-Star teams, and even an All-NBA team in 2007. In 2010, his last year before going to South Beach, he averaged 24 and 11 on 52% shooting. But here's the thing, he literally never won shit. In 7 years with the Raptors, he led them to just 2 playoff appearances, 0 playoff series wins, and just 1 winning season. All in the same Eastern Conference, which LeBron haters call terrible. Quite simply, Bosh was a good stats, bad team guy, much like future LeBron teammate Kevin Love was in Minnesota. But everybody seemed to talk about him like he was a Kevin Durant caliber player when he joined Miami. This is not to say Bosh was terrible in Miami, quite the opposite actually. He was a big part of their offensive spacing and he averaged an efficient 17 points per game in the regular season, but his limitations were exposed in the playoffs, where he averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds per game. He was wildly inconsistent, even getting badly outplayed by Roy Hibbert in the 2013 Conference Finals and scoring 0 points in Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals. He didn't offer much as a rebounder, next to nothing as a passer, and although he wasn't bad defensively, he certainly wasn't a Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett caliber player either. All in all, Bosh was billed as a star player who moved the needle, when in reality he was a solid 3rd option who was prone to disappearing for long stretches of play, making life harder on Wade and, mostly, LeBron. Nothing personal though, he's a great guy and I thank him for all the hilarious memes he inspired over the years with his mannerisms. Number 3. The San Antonio Spurs. After coming within 1 rebound of dethroning the Heat in 2013, the Spurs came back in 2014 and took a 2 girls 1 cup-esque shit all over Miami in the finals. It's not that the Spurs getting revenge was something nobody could have predicted, but absolutely nobody predicted the complete destruction which took place. There was the infamous AC game in Game 1 where LeBron cramped up in the fourth quarter and the Spurs pounced to win. Miami then responded to steal home court advantage in Game 2. At this point, with the series tied 1-1, Miami actually looked in control. Then the Spurs proceeded to put on one of the finest displays of basketball the world has ever seen. Over the last 3 games of the series, as a team, they combined to shoot 54% overall, 45% from 3, with a true shooting percentage of 65.1%. In their 4 wins in the series, the Spurs had an effective field goal percentage of 63% and a true shooting percentage of 66.5%. For reference, the entire team shot the ball as well as Steph Curry did during his unanimous MVP season. The Spurs had far and away the most efficient shooting performance by any NBA champion in finals history. In less than a week's time, Miami had gone from being in the driver's seat to a three-peat to completely broken, and a few weeks later, once free agency started, LeBron left to go back to Cleveland. The 2014 Spurs were a great team, but their performance in the finals was unsustainably good, and for my money, there's no team in NBA history that could have kept up with them shooting so well for those 3 to 4 games. It's a make-or-miss league, and the Heat were denied another ring due to their opponent making shots at a historical level. Tough scene. Number 4, Dwyane Wade's knees. By far, the biggest reason Miami never became a dynasty wasn't a person or a team, it was the knees of one Dwyane Wade. The most annoying thing people do is pretend Wade from 2011 to 2014 was Finals MVP Wade or 2009 MVP candidate Wade. Here's the facts. Wade was still a superstar caliber player in 2011, averaging 26, 6, and 5 in the regular season, 25, 7, and 4 in the playoffs, and 27, 7, and 5 in the finals, a series where he would have won his second Finals MVP if not for LeBron's aforementioned choke job. But then Wade declined fast. 2012 to 2014, Wade was a shell of his best self, constantly needing his knee drained, constantly missing games, and just being maddeningly inconsistent. This is why even when Miami did win the championship in 2012 and 2013, it was a slog and nowhere near dominant. Across those 2 years, they faced elimination in 3 different playoff series, twice going down 3-2, before scraping by, largely thanks to LeBron. Wade had his moments, but Miami was actually better off without him on the court most of the time, especially against the Spurs in 2013, where Wade had a plus-minus of -54. The stats and eye test both showed this. By 2014, Wade was barely even all-star caliber, let alone a superstar. He missed 28 regular season games, and outside of a tiny 4-game window against Brooklyn and Indiana, he did almost nothing all postseason long. By the time the 2014 finals rolled around, Wade was getting rejected at the rim by Thiago Splitter. LeBron and Wade's games never really meshed well in a half-court setting. Both were slashers with inconsistent outside shots, but they were able to make the marriage work for the most part because they were so insanely talented. Had Wade been able to avoid the knee issues, Miami, at the very least, would have dominated at a much higher level than they actually did. It's not a coincidence they had a 27-game win streak in 2013 during one of the few times Wade was feeling good physically. Nowadays in retirement, Wade still attacks the rim, but in a very different way.